So that's why we want to seal that breakage. Think about it.
Yep.
You've got a solid piece of product that
Yep.
is warranted, but when you break that and you now you've exposed it to the elements.
Hey y'all, it's Bo Brotherton with Better Together Life and the Shed to House Facebook group. Today we are wrapping up our shed to studio, kind of wrapping it up. We're still waiting on the spray foam to arrive to be able to get it installed at United Portable Buildings. Today we are going to be joined with the owner of United Portable Buildings, Casey Wiggins. I mean, this guy, he knows about construction. He knows about how these buildings are built, and he has an absolute passion for the shed to house movement. I've been doing this for several years now, and honestly, a lot of dealers and manufacturers they hold this whole shed to house thing at arm's length. They don't really want the liability. They don't really want the attention of people living in their buildings. They're just like, put a lawnmower or something in there. It's a shed. But Casey is all for trying to find ways to give you affordable actual buildings and just the knowledge of affordable and alternative housing. And one thing that Casey is super excited about is he just loves whenever you guys smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I got you. Yes. Casey's awesome. The dude is just, he's become a friend and I really enjoy him. So check it out. Here's me and Casey going over the inspection of our shed to studio. Hey everybody, it's Bo Brotherton and Casey Wiggins. This is a really special thing that he is the man. He is the owner of United Portable Buildings. Casey and I have been able to work something out and we're partnering together that you guys, I've been filming several different manufacturers of shed to houses. Nothing compares to the quality and the customer service.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like your staff is amazing.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to do the inspection. Okay, and so why do we do the inspection of these buildings? Why don't you just send them off to the customer? Sure,
because the one thing that separates us from any other manufacturer is we say quality, and a lot of people say that. But to make that separate us and make us better is the inspection process, and it's a very strict inspection process. And we may or may not catch things. Most of the time we do catch things, to be honest. But it allows us to fix it before it gets to the customer. And that way the customer is getting a quality experience, they're getting a quality shed, what they paid for, what they expected, and what we promised. So
awesome. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna start with the outside.
Right.
So go around here. What I normally do is look on the outside for any kind of defects, look at the paint quality, look at the caulk quality on the windows here that we do to ensure the shed's not gonna leak. There's not gonna be any problems there. The installation of the exterior drops, things like that, making sure they're secured, making sure that it's nice and clean around the edges. Windows. So right here, if you see, that's going to have to be touched up before it comes out to your location.
Okay.
That's a defect. Something happened there. We'll get with our painter, find out what happened, address that, and get that repaired before we get it delivered.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And let's see here. A little scratch here. Now, some of these things will happen in the delivery process. So inside your shed, we have the paint kits for our drivers and paint. They have paint brushes, and they can touch up some of these things as well once they deliver the shed.
And that's normal, yeah.
And what I'm looking for also, when you see me running my hands over, I'm looking for any nail holes that were not puttied. And so the importance to that is that a lot of companies will caulk their nail holes. Most companies don't do anything to their nail holes, okay? So there's
nail holes
everywhere. It looks like a nail gun, machine gun, like just riddled the side of your side.
Why is it important?
So here's one big thing that a lot of people don't tell you when they buy a shed that does not have the caulk or the putty in there, primarily the putty, is when that hole is exposed, even though LP is rated for moisture, it's got all the moisture barrier ingredients in with the baking process, and it's got a 50-year prorated warranty on it. Over time, that nail will become rusted because the water's seeping into where the nail is. And over time, if you look down the side of the building, you're going to start seeing penny and dime size swell marks on your shed, because eventually it will deteriorate and will start, not deteriorate necessarily the whole product, but it will begin to create a swelling process. So that's why we want to seal that breakage. Think about it. You've got a solid piece of product that is warranted, But when you break that and you
Sure.
now you've exposed it to the elements.
Yeah.
So by securing it with the putty or the caulk, then what we do is we eliminate that moisture from being able to get in there, that water.
Okay, so y'all don't even have that be a problem.
We don't have that problem at all.
Okay, so what do you do if you, so I'm being personal and
Sure.
like selfish, what do I do because there's nail holes? There's not a place that there's not nail holes on my
yours.
shed to house.
Okay, so my suggestion.
And I did not get it from UPB. I did not know. Casey, yeah, big mistake on my part.
No problem. So our biggest, the thing that we offer everyone is we can send a repair team out from our company, even if you didn't buy the shed from us, to repaint the building basically.
Okay.
So we would come out with contractor grade putty
Okay.
and caulk, and we would caulk and putty your entire shed
Okay.
and come back over and repaint your shed. That would secure it. That way you don't have any problems in the future. So we offer that as a service.
This is a pretty color, then we might just want it to match.
Exactly.
The two.
So yeah, I mean, if you want it to match, I don't know what color your other one was. You've told me before, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
they didn't give me the paint.
yeah, well, this
Like
looks
y'all
great.
do.
So I think honestly, if you were to match this, it would look great. And we can send our team out, and when they get finished, you're gonna look at your other shed so much different if you let us do that. Just walking up to it, you're gonna look at it different. Because look
For
at this.
sure.
I mean, when you
Oh,
look
I
up
know.
to it, it's a finished product.
It's just everything.
Yeah.
So mine was like just matte fin. This is like glossy and just looks like it's a nice,
So
high quality, thick
most
paint.
companies will not. There are shed companies that use this paint that we use, but a lot of shed companies go for the cheaper.
Yeah.
What's cheaper? What's more common?
Yep.
This is a little bit more expensive paint for us. Not very much. So it's not a big deal, but it is a little bit more expensive to the bottom line. But the sheen on it is just
Yes.
attractive. And at the end of the day, it's not just about the quality. It's also about the aesthetics of the shed.
Mhm.
Customers want something that sits in their yard, shed to house, or a shed.
Yep.
They want it to be in their yard and their property and look really good. They want to be able to show it off. It looks good in pictures, and it's going to last. The paint quality on this is going to last.
Yeah,
So,
you can tell.
yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So anyway, we're gonna make our way around. You got your electrical box back here. So again, we want to make sure it's secured. What I'm really looking for is to make sure that nothing's been pulled away. It's not uneven. It's very level. Obviously, your electrician's going to handle this when they get to your property. So get this thing open here. There we go. Make sure it's all set up. And we got your breakers in here. They've marked your breakers.
Thank you. Yes,
So
I
we've
saw
got that all done
did
so that
great.
you know what you're connecting to and how you're connecting it. And so looking for, if you notice the top, something new that we're doing with UPB is we're caulking the eaves. All of your soffit up there, your gable ends. So
Yes, I
that's
saw him do that, and
No
it's
other-
very tedious. But
no other
so-
shed company
Nope.
in the entire Southeast anywhere is doing that at all, period. So here we got right here, whoa, looks like maybe a little paint or something. It could be something else got in there. We'll get that cleaned up as well. Looking for the metal on the end to make sure it matches with your trim. Make sure it's not bent out. There's not something wrong with the metal. If it was damaged, make sure your screws are in place. And that's that. Your straps. You see your strap on the other end,
Yep.
strap on this end. Making sure your straps are installed properly, which the straps, as you know, Bo, I don't know if you know, but we go into the interior of the building. So the straps cannot be added after the fact. A lot of shed companies will only run them over the floor joist
Yep.
or over the runner, which just holds the floor down. We actually run our strap up, and we run them up about this high into the building, so that way it secures the walls and the floor system.
Because if heavy winds were to come,
you're
then
securing
you're
the
just
entire building versus just securing the floor.
exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, I loved.
Yep.
Whenever you told me that, I was like, yes, please, yes.
And as I'm going along, I'm also looking at the metal on the roof. Occasionally what will happen is they will miss a screw once in a while, or something will be out of place. Something gets bent during the, maybe even moving it out into the yard. So we want to catch that in case we need to replace it. We keep extra metal on hand in the shop, new metal, to be able to replace small panels and things if we need to. So that's in the shop for repairs. Looks good. Your caulk in your corner looks good. So if you look down the side of this one so far, I'm not seeing any nail hole issues. They're doing a really good job. There are occasions when I inspect the shed and we may see, I'll count them sometimes, 15 or 20 nails. So I'll make the painter come back out, re-putty that, and then wait for it to dry, come back. And then sometimes if it's a lot of them on the side, depending on how long the shed's been finished, they have to repaint the entire shed.
Gotcha.
If you don't, you'll see dark spots where the paint dries a little bit different color.
That makes sense.
So, looks good. Lumber looks good. Strap,
And
electrical box.
I love how it wasn't even an issue
Of doing the eaves
No,
on what are I just keep on calling it the 14-foot side. What is this? Nate knows it.
The gable end?
Gable end.
Yeah,
okay, gable end.
So the 6-inch gable, yeah, the overhangs.
Yeah, nobody does a overhang.
No, so we do this custom overhang that we do, and customers love it. It adds to the aesthetics of the building. If you notice, we were walking up to it earlier, it just looks different than the other sheds.
Yeah.
It stands out. And especially for shed to home, I'd say 80 to 85% of our shed to home customers go with this upgrade.
Yep.
And the dealers are a big part of that because they've seen so many of them that they know to educate the customer, you're going to be happy with this upgrade.
Yeah.
And
I'll say that I do not have this overhang, and we had water go into the windows.
Correct.
We have our big giant front and back porch,
Right.
but it's these two that don't have a porch on it.
But see, the rain here, it deflects the rain away from your window.
Exactly.
Correct.
I love that
Yep.
y'all do that.
So trim also is the same treatment in terms of the nails. So we also treat it the same way. This is also caulked. All of your seams are caulked, but also to make sure that the nails are filled and puttied. So that's all done the same way as the siding on the wall. Okay. So we've got one ding on the outside we're going to have to fix.
I think it's pretty good so far.
Take care of that. Put a note here. Your shed to house had the house wrap on it. So that is something we suggest to all our shed to house customers. They don't necessarily have to do it, but it does help a lot with the moisture barrier, with insulation. It's just really something good to get if you're going to be living in it. If you're going to turn it into shed to house, we love it. As you see how clean it looks, there's no corners. If some companies that offer this, they actually cut those pieces in sometimes. They don't. It's all these different ways they do it. We try to do it like you do a residential home, wrap it from the outside, do it the correct way, and that way we build onto it. So what we're going to do on the inside is we're going to check for the quality of the lumber and the material, the cuts, make sure everything looks good in here, count the amount of electrical drops to make sure it matches the order, look at your loft, make sure everything looks good there, look at the ceiling. So we're just looking for the quality of the lumber. If you look at our lumber, look at the color of the lumber in here.
Yep.
And you compare it to a lot of other shed companies. And that's because we buy the #1 lumber. So, and I know you hear that a lot, but your video in here, you can see it. You can see the color and the grade.
Oh yeah.
You don't see the mold, you don't see the mildew, you don't see a lot of the bark edges. And there's a premium price for getting that, but it's a huge benefit when a customer can walk in and see a really clean looking shed. And that's something that it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. So
You will see that how busy Casey is running this company in multiple states, and still how attention to detail the owner is.
So we want to make sure these windows open and shut. These have spacers here. So these stoppers have to come out. I may have to put one, there we go. So we just want to make sure the window opens and shuts properly. These, you got the thermal pane windows, so they're double insulated.
Okay.
They also can come out for easy cleaning, so you can pull it up and you can pull them out.
Cool.
So you can clean the
Yeah,
inside and
and it has a
outside of
screen
the
in
windows.
there.
Has a screen in it, so you're good there. You can lock it back and secure it. They're insulated very well, so that's a good thing. Lumber looks good. The electricians, we also hold them kind of to a standard. So when they cut holes, we try to keep things looking really neat as possible. We don't want, and you see, I've seen it a lot, electricians just kind of go all over the place.
Yes.
We try, even though it's going to be hid, it still needs to look clean.
Well, but some sheds, they might,
Sure.
I mean, it might just be a raw shed.
That or it may
workshop
take a
something.
while to get it finished out.
Exactly.
You know, it may take 6 months or a year to get their project completed.
Yeah. I was really impressed. I just thought that it was them, but that's
Yeah.
something that y'all hold them.
Something else we do on the bigger buildings in the shed to home is you'll see, and a lot of companies do also do this, but we double stud every 4.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot more support and security there. Just like you would almost like doing a residential home.
Yep.
And of course you guys know from your channel, and Bo is so educated on this, the 16 on center, the double plated top walls, the standard things you look for.
But the
when
double, you call it double plate?
the double studs here.
Double stud. I have not seen
So
that.
there's not a lot of companies in Texas that do it.
Okay.
I've seen some companies in Georgia, Tennessee, not many,
Okay.
but a few of them that offer that.
Yeah, that, I was wondering, but now I know.
Sure. So in here, just looking for the placement of everything, looks good, your box looks good. Again, how clean your lumber looks here. I check for those things. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes I do walk in the shed and we'll find just a large chunk of, because sometimes our builders, we're human, we make mistakes, but the thing is catching it and fixing it. So this looks really, really good. Corner looks really, really good. Looks really, really good. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at your options, which is your electrical package mainly here. I see your windows, your thermal pane windows, you have, looks like 2 and 3. So you have your 3 down here, which are your 3x3 windows. Then you have 2, which are your 2x3 thermal panes in each one of your lofts. There, your 9-light walk-in door. Then you have your 4 tie-down straps on the outside. You have your Tyvek house wrap. And then the next thing we're going to be doing is the 20-drop electrical package. So you have your 200 amp breaker box on the exterior.
Okay.
So we looked at that earlier. And then if you look at the 20 drops, you could go around and count them. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What did you do?
No, they just.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are a little bit more here.
We got to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
My wife came. Kelly, I blame you.
Okay.
She.
So we're just gonna say there's the Kelly package. There's more than 20 drops. I'm not gonna say a word about it. So we're okay to check that off, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're
Yes,
checked.
sir.
I saw the grin on your face, like what I'm about to get into. Then I noticed the drops at the top. I'm like, I'm gonna be at like 20. I'm gonna be at 30 something. It's good. It's good. It's good. That's awesome. As long as you got what you wanted.
Yes,
but,
sir.
You know, the thing about it is, though, your wife came out here and probably got to looking at it, and this happens so many times with customers where they say, I didn't realize, but I need this.
Well,
I
and
need
is that something that y'all are ever open to a customer coming out
Absolutely.
and looking at it?
As long as it's at the phase where it's still here.
Of course.
What sometimes the customers, we will still do it even at their house.
Okay.
But what happens is for us is, if we have to come out to your house, we do incur the cost of the electrician having to drive.
Of course.
So if it's here at the lot, it's a lot easier for us to do it. It's nothing for us to say to the electrician, listen, the customer came out, looked at it, or they rethought their process out of their floor plan.
Yeah.
We need to add 6 more drops. It's not a problem at all whatsoever. That can be done easily.
Well, and that's something that we did, like, it was before, like,
Sure.
the 4 walls were up, and I told Kelly, like, have you come? I asked JT, and
Sure.
okay.
Absolutely. No, it's great. But walking through it, as you saw, we've got one issue here with the paint. Nail holes look great. Caulk looks great. Windows look great. The lumber on the inside looks great. Drops look great. Extra. And so the metal on the roof looks really good. I didn't see anything, and you were in there with me. What did you see? Anything that from a customer standpoint?
Those were the only ones that I saw, and I think I saw it a little bit earlier this morning. I was kind of curious.
And the one other thing I did notice earlier was right here. And that's I noticed that when we were walking around earlier, and that's just a quick touch up with a quick brush right there. So yeah, and I noticed that earlier. But again, that goes back to the door there. So what we'll do is, I got the notes here for this walk-in door. We'll have the painter come out, touch all this up, clean it up, make sure it looks good, and then we'll sign off on it. So
awesome.
It's going to be ready to go, man.
Woo!
Ready to get to you, brother.
Okay, Casey, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bo.
Quality. Wow.
Yes.
Just customer service. You guys, you have no idea how awesome this is. All right, thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, I hope you love that. I'm not sure when the spray foam video is going to come out. We're just waiting for the product to arrive so that they can do it in-house at United Portable Buildings here in Texas. But we're going to have lots of things coming up. We have chicken videos, we have pig videos, lots and lots of things coming up. So thank you guys. Hey, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. All right, thanks guys, bye.